Can you hear me okay?
I can. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can see you. Can we get this started, Mr. Brock Pierce?
We can.
Well, I really appreciate you taking the time. You know, in doing thousands of interviews, I've interviewed top tier musicians and actors and athletes, never a presidential candidate. So it is an honor to say the least. How's your day going there?
It's busy. So I'm in Cheyenne, Wyoming. I was here for the Independent National Convention, the first one, the inaugural one. And I was supposed to be leaving yesterday evening. I'd be wrapping up in Oklahoma right now and off to the next stop. But this massive blizzard hit, everything shut down. And so seeing as I'm in a city on a day that I wasn't planned to be here, it's been incredibly busy. My first press interview was at 6:10 a.m., then 6:35 a.m. And it's been, wow, back to back to back without a moment of break. But This is the final 7 days of this election cycle. So I want nothing less. It should be intense. It should be completely exhausting. And I hope to collapse on November 4th. Though I feel like I've got so much stamina, I could do this for another 4 years without break.
That's great to hear. Obviously, you found success before cryptocurrency. You found success as an actor. And actors, when there's a movie coming out, they have to do a lot of press. Is there any project you've worked on, cryptocurrency or acting related, where you had to do this much press in a concentrated period?
No, I've never done anything like this before, which is great. I love to be challenged. I love to be learning new things. And it's been wonderful. And there's really no job where you can have a bigger impact on the world. Mm-hmm. And at a time where I think we so desperately need it, as I like to say, I can summarize why I'm running for office in one word: love. Love for this country, love for the American people at a time where that's what we need. We are so divided. You know, fear is so consuming, fear and hatred. And at a time where this nation is so divided politically, economically, racially, and, you know, we need love and unity. We need love and unity. And I think that message at this time is so important. And I'm so concerned for what's going to happen here over the next few weeks. And I pray that I can deliver these words to the American people to remind us to have compassion, to have understanding, to have patience, and to remember not what we're against, but what we stand for, because we have so much in common, and to find and seek out that silver lining, find the light in things, because it's always there.
Now, I don't know what the law is, if you're allowed to say who you voted for, what you're not allowed to do. I can confirm that at least one person in this household has voted for you, so we love what you're saying and what you're doing. If it doesn't work out, is there any kind of a plan B, or you're not even thinking about that?
Oh, no, this is plan A and B. I'm running all the way through to 2024. This is just the laying of the foundation and the groundwork. I'm going to be running for president longer than anyone in this election cycle, literally more than 4 years. It'll be 4 years and 4 months. And so this is putting in place all the machinery, all the apparatus, all the infrastructure necessary to run all the way through. And I'm not doing this just for me. Right. All of this infrastructure that I'm developing, I'm putting together for you if you're interested. I'm looking for 100 candidates, 100 independent or third-party candidates to support in 2021 and 2022, building the tech stack, building the database, the ballot access, all the infrastructure, the marketing, the access to media, because I think we desperately need a government of, for, and by the people. People that are showing up in service because they care, not because they're seeking money or power. I'm looking for doctors, teachers, entrepreneurs, engineers, computer scientists, artists, athletes, farmers, whatever. I'm looking for people that are prepared to show up in service and do their best, and not to be controlled by a political party. I'm not looking to, there's no quid pro quo with me. If you show up with integrity, honesty, values, principles, all that good stuff, and you're doing it with the right intention for the right reason, I'm here to help you get into office so that you can directly represent the constituents that voted you in, speaking your truth, acting according to your conscience, not with me telling you what to do, what to say, or what to think, which is the quid pro quo of political parties right now. And I think that is in big part the problem. We're divided between left and right. And I think the only path back to unity is something new has to emerge, something that brings us or forces us back to the table like a magnet. And that's what can happen. If we got 3 people in the Senate, 5 people into Congress, it would force the left and the right to deal with us and each other. We have to find a path forward, a path back to unity. Divided we fall, united we stand.
Wow, that's very refreshing to hear all that it's not just about you. It's not just about growing a third party and or fourth party system. It's about building a community of like-minded people that are going to push the ball forward in every end, but on a totally different wavelength. I'm curious who the first person in your life was that ever said, you know, Brock, you should run for president.
Well, it's been my mother since as early as I can remember. As a child, my mother was always telling me that you're going to be president of the United States one day. And then when I made that movie First Kid, where I played the son of the president of the United States of America with Sinbad as my Secret Service agent, my mom's like, see, it's a sign. You're going to be doing this one day. I'm like, yeah, whatever, Mom. Well, I assumed every mother told their kid this.
That's fair. Well, I've also had the pleasure of interviewing Sinbad, and a lot of the movies were around the same age, despite how it looks. A lot of the movies that you starred in were staples of my childhood and all that. I'm curious when you realized that acting wasn't going to be your long-term passion. You were more of a businessman.
Well, so I was a very entrepreneurial kid, like building every lemonade stand business I could while I was acting. And so I started acting at the age of 3. My first memory in life takes place on a set. And so I didn't choose to be an actor. I grew up as one, and I was semi-successful, I guess, fairly successful, I guess most people would argue in that business, which is a very tough business.
Yeah.
And so once I started becoming a star and becoming famous, I'm like, ooh, I don't actually really like this. This is kind of, this is complicated. And so at 15, I started asking myself, I'm like, is this my calling? Is this what I want to do when I grow up? And I decided that I wanted to write my own script, that I wanted to be the director of my own life. And so by the time I was 16, I recognized that technology was going to change the world. And I wanted to go out and be an entrepreneur. So I met with my management and, my agent and things. And I'm like, I'm going to quit acting. They're like, what? I go, yeah, I don't think this is my calling. They're like, what? What are you talking about? Are you crazy? People would do anything to be in your situation. You're being offered starring roles in movies. What do you mean you're going to quit? What are you going to do? I said, well, I'm going to become an internet entrepreneur. And they're like, what? You didn't go to school for that. What are your qualifications? That's impossible. It'll never work, Brock. Keep making movies. I'm like, I got to go do what I got to do. I'm going to go become an internet entrepreneur. They're like, that's impossible. And I said, well, I will find out. And I started my first business at 16. We raised $88 million over those couple of years to build what you would think of as YouTube, Hulu, and Netflix today. We were too early, so it didn't work out, but it showed me that I could. It showed me that, no, it wasn't impossible, that impossible is I am, or I'm possible. And then don't let anyone tell you otherwise. If you want to go do something, have the faith and confidence in yourself and the conviction and the determination to go at least give it your best. You'll never know otherwise. And so, and it doesn't need to work out. That first business didn't succeed, but it gave me the confidence to be able to walk away and reinvent myself. And it taught me the things that I needed to be able to do it again and again and again.
Sounds like a best-selling book that you've got in your possibilities for the future. Of course, you don't need more to do right now, though.
Actually, the book is almost done. I was trying to get it out in early October for the election cycle, but wow, the amount of work that this is daunting. And so actually someone on my team is like, Brock, I've just finished the first 50 pages. It's really good.
I'm absolutely looking forward to that. So 3 quick questions and then you're a free man. The first one is, when you don't have to work and you don't have to think hard, what does Brock Pierce like to do with himself?
So I'm a very curious mind. And so I love to study. I love to study history. And so I collect old books and, I'm curious. I want to understand, etymology. Why is this word this word? And so like if you hang out around with me, I'm like Wikipedia. I'll just kind of like start telling you, oh, this is where this comes from. That's why we do this. Because I want to understand the past. I want to understand the mistakes that we've made so as not to repeat them. And history has a way of repeating itself.
Sure.
And by studying those patterns, I find that I'm able to have better foresight into the future. And so that's a big way that I like to spend my time. I love music. And so I'm constantly finding new music. I love to sing and dance. I'm not sure I'm very good at either, but it doesn't stop me from doing it. I love to build things. You know, I love to dream. I love to dream impossible things and look at the world and say, what's missing? And you know, how do we bring that into reality?
Well, you actually ventured towards the second thing I was going to ask of three, which was, what's Brock Pierce's favorite musical artist?
I have so many. They're different genres of music, but I'll name four of them, a few of them right now, just because I've been playing them. One is Nako Bear and the Medicine for the People. Nako almost came to the Independent National Convention to perform, so I want to sing his praises. There were two DJs here. One is Isaiah Martin, and the other one is Lemurian. They were both here for the Independent National Convention. And then Emmanuel Kelly did two amazing performances at the convention. He sang Hallelujah, and he sang Imagination from the Beatles, which were just so spot on and kind of what the world needs to hear right now.
Taste all over the place, but in a good way. And my closer for you is, any last words for the kids?
You are the future, and half the population of the planet is under the age of 35. You are the sleeping giant in this nation. So I want to remind you about a couple of things. One, in life, act according to your conscience. Follow your heart, trust your heart, and know that the future is going to happen to you, or it's going to happen with you. So get involved. Be part of the change you wish to see in the future.
Wow, deep, deep stuff there. I'm really glad to hear that this is going to continue into 2024, regardless of what happens on November 3rd. But thank you so much for your time, and thank you for fighting for all the people who don't really feel represented right now.
We can do this. I know we will. We win eventually. And the sooner it happens, the better. And when I say we, I don't mean me. I mean all of us.
Fantastic. Have a great rest of the day, and best of luck with the rest of your campaign, man.
Thank you.
Take care.
Paltrocast.